Okay, this demo is for creating stacked dimensions. I want to stack dimensions along the top. So I go to annotation and I find the dimension command and hit the down arrow. You have chain dimension, cumulative dimension, stack dimensions. I want to do stack dimension, also known as datum dimension and baseline dimension or feature-based dimensions. Okay, so stack dimension is known as several things, but basically it's creating all dimensions from a datum. We've identified the datums and now we can dimension from the datums. I'll select stack and I'm going to try and select in a row these lines, and all of a sudden it switches like this, and that's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to get my stack dimensions to go this direction, all the horizontal ones, so I'm going to get undo. My trick to doing the stack dimension is to grab the first line and then grab the last line that you want to dimension to. Then you can grab the parallel lines in between and it'll automatically create the dimensions and space them accordingly. Now, you see that text, it's in the way. I always create my dimensions and then insert the text later, so the text can be really anywhere. These dimensions are kind of locked to where they need to be. So I will delete this text, go to leader, insert that, go back to leader, select this edge, I turned it off. Select this edge, click a position, and maybe I can paste because I had already saved that. I'll move this over. Let's see. Okay, see what happened here. This is weird. I'm going to slide over here. Let's go to justification and try right justification. That's weird. I'm not sure why that did that. I'll have to get into that later. This demo is more about the stack dimensions. Okay. Again, when I do the stack dimensions, I want to grab the bottom line and the top line, dimension in between. Oh, see, I missed. So I can right click on this dimension and where was that? Let's see. I can create a single dimension and select this one and this one. Click a position. And I think I always get this backwards. I'm going to try and select on this, right click, and was it regroup dimension with this one? And when I do that, it links those three together in case I miss one. Alright, now that I have my dimensions in there, I'll just quickly highlight them, right click on one of the dimensions and go to properties. Under properties, I'm going to go to the very first tab and hit value and do a numdink. Hit OK. And all these dimensions are 2 places. Now, according to our book, figure 9-1 in the print reading book, if I click on this, right click and go to properties, under the tab called system, the spacing should be, according to our book, 1/4 inch. So I'll type in 0.25 and hit tab. Did that again. I'm going to highlight this whole thing and type in 0.25 and hit tab. It's now at 0.25 for 1/4 inch and select OK. And see how it grouped that to be a 1/4 inch. I think that's a little tight for me. It says a 1/4 inch or more. What I could do is click on this, right click and go to properties. And I could go 0.375 for 3/8 and hit tab. So now the distance between says 3/8. It's really kind of your personal preference, what you think looks best. Oops, no. I'm going to go ahead and hit 3/8 or leave it at 3/8 here in the pop-up window in case you didn't see it. It's right here is where I'm typing that in. I'll hit OK. Okay, and that kind of gives me a little more room so I can see that. Bottom line is I want this to look grouped. Okay, so again, to change that, you click on any one of them. They should all highlight if you're doing this correctly, and go to Properties. I'll change that back to 1/4 inch. Okay, I'll go to View, turn my grid on. I need to be about here for my first dimension. So the dimension line from here to here, according to your book, which is not very clear, it's almost confusing. They say 3/8 or more. Okay, they should have pointed to the one that says 1.41. That's the one. It's the dimension line to the part. That should be 3/8 to a 1/2 inch off of that. Whatever this distance is must be greater than the distance between the dimension lines. You want all these dimensions here to look like a group. So when I turn my grid off, these look grouped. They're not all equally spaced from this dimension lines to this periphery of the part. Okay, same thing here, but it should be somewhat closer. So I should be moving it closer. However, when I turn my grid on, you want to be about a 1/2 inch off of this, and that looks good, and these look grouped, but they're a little tight because this is running a little too close to this. So what I want to do is click on this, right click and go to Properties and change my Systems tab, and we're going to make that a little bit bigger. Let's try a 1/2 inch. Okay, so now the 1/2 inch spacing looks good, but now this dimension line and this line that represents the periphery, they're all equally spaced. I don't want it equally spaced, so I'm going to slide this over a whole nother 1/4 inch. I'll turn my grid off. Now this looks like more of a group, and it's spaced further away from the part. Same with this one over here. All right, that's your lesson learned for stack dimensioning.